Now, typically we like to say that Border is attacker-sided, but every single map that we've played so far has gone against our expectations, and I have no idea what to expect coming into this quarterfinal.
Funny enough, the one region where Border is defender-sided is where Elevate hail from, APAC South. And they're looking to show what the South is capable of here. And the Monty band, w7m has had enough of it.
But I'll tell you what, it's been a pretty great series without Finker. It is fantastic to see one of the LMGs go. Poor KZ, he's never got a chance to pick it. And Monty, though, being taken out for Sapper. Following up with Valk, though, once again, so many operators left on the cards for the attack. Thatcher slipping in all the hard breach, slipping in everything on the table so far.
The final ban to round it out is Wamai. That leaves Mirror in as well. Azami available. Slew of operators on the defense left in the pool to fortify Elevate's position. As they start on this defensive side, they fought after losing their map to steal w7m zone. Here we go to Border to round it off.
And the first bomb site, even a curveball from the side of Elevate, taking us to Bathroom and Tellers. The first one of contest. And you know what, Dev? You know what I like to see? Sapper on the pulse. Our favorites.
Bit notorious on this pulse is Sapper. Elevate kicking it off on Tellers and Bathroom. At what point do we say w7m have had enough? They were one of the tournament favorites and they still remain, but they have been pushed hard. Elevate will not give up without a fight. This might be the first ever event for Mark and Mr. Punch, but they have shown what they are capable of. And there is no doubt who the audience favors in this game.
Elevate looking to do a very extended hold on this site. No players to begin off in the ground floor, actually. 3 of them currently in the top floor. Hatch being held open. Long lines of sight for Onigiri, who I can only imagine is going to be sitting on those east stairs waiting for the entry to come through. He's made himself a nice long line of sight into Passport as well, so both points of entry being held by just one player.
And this is the way Elevate love to do it on Border. Holding that east stairs position. Sapper, UMP, no shotgun pulse this round. But w7m have showed their patience during this game.
Elevate, though, still holding steadfast in the top floor. Yin Canzella to roll into the site, but in fact there is nobody there. The line scan to ring out and hurts the first in the building.
And Volps, just look at the way he jumped straight into that office window. Only 2 players left for Elevate. w7m pushed hard, they pushed fast, and they have a significant numbers advantage.
DCH, the next point of contest, still holding on to the customs. Being drawn out now, Flash to follow through as well. KZ, can he connect the shots?
DCH, Flash, no. He holds on, but w7m play passive. They use the E1D as GDN forces that plant down. Nigh impossible retake now for these 2 Thai players involved. Finishes what was left of DCH. It's all Sapper, 1v5. A dominant way to start this game for w7m. Flawless in the opening round.
JV to close it out, and what a gorgeous attack from w7m as well. They knew that it was critical for them to take that top floor if they wanted to make their way into the site. Even the Yin Cantellas through the drone hole tried to distract some of the Elevate players. Maybe they were hitting the site, but the push came all at once. It was a 3-2-1 on the side of w7m to enter through that top floor, through archives, through the radio window, through the east stairs as well. Onigiri, he can only take 1 fight at a time, and well, the player on east stairs just too sharp for him.
Excellent start for w7m. Now rotating up to Armory Lockers and Archives for Elevate. Looking to find some feet. And believe it or not, it feels like a hell of a long time since I've said this, but we see Mirror on Border.
And of course, Sapper picking it as always, the construction anchor for this particular team. Elevate looking to extend their hold all the way over into Break Room with the aid of the Kiva barriers of Mark on the Azami. Trying to build a fortress inside of the Break Room and inside of CC, the first going out on the little horseshoe desk.
Really like this setup. So many long lines of sight, so much ground Elevator holding on to here. They don't want to let W7M waltz on in like they did just before. They're going to hold this for as long as possible.
And I love that they're dedicating utility to that entry denial as well. Border is one of those maps where there are so many nooks and crannies that the attackers can slip in through, and lo and behold, JV making his way in through the teller's window. It is very hard to keep track of the entries on this particular map. There are so many soft external walls, so many windows and doors that make their way into the map and Elevate. They can only hold on to so much.
And looks like W7M are setting up for a play here. From down below in Bathroom, they can open up the hatch in Tellers, potentially nade a player up. Here comes the Gon 6. They need some info. They need to drone out this position. It goes in tandem with GDN on the ace.
Oh, and JV, is he going to be able to connect the shots onto the player peeking from inside of Fountain? No, he's not. The Elevate players, with the wall open, they start to peel back their defense, making their way into Fountain instead, and W7M have claimed some of this ground.
W7M also have E stairs control, and now they've found the opener. With Sapper going down, Mark quick to reply.
DCH still steadfast, holding on to Office, but actually hurts. Taken down. That's Mr. Punch on the ground floor, still holding on to his roam. JV, now his attention is turned. They have info.
They know exactly where he is. JV's got to land this shot, but there's Mr. Punch. He was so good during the group stage. And now he's found his footing here.
Volps and GDN to clean up what is left of W7M, but Elevate, they aren't giving them anything. Oni, he has info on this player outside on the AC balcony. Just slipping away from his line of sight, but the shots connect onto Volps.
Look at the confidence from Elevate's captain as he continues to peak in the 4v1. It's going to be a tight scoreline here. Elevate. They've got the energy of the crowd on their side. And he continues to peak it and land shots. How does he do that?
How does he do it? The captain of Elevate, of course. GDN now just taking this time off for his team. They're up around. It's not too much to worry about yet, but Elevate, they won't give him anything, of course. Sitting on the site, restrained. What a beautiful round from them as well, from Elevate.
Every player individually performing, but also the strategy. They played into it so well. And Mr. Punch downstairs, he made such a big impact. W7M tried to hunt players one at a time, sending them his direction, and he was happy to take each of them. Elevate, in map 1, they were not very present at all, but now they have come through. They tied the score.
Such a wonderful defense as well from Elevate. They made it such that their defense was so fluent, they could pivot their utility, they could pivot their push. We saw the keeper barriers get dedicated to the CC break room push, but they also had plenty of ADSs, they had plenty of barbed wire over on the side of Easters, over on the side of Triple Wall, just in case W7M went for that instead. That's exactly what they did, and instead Elevate were able to consolidate their players over and fight that entry out, and even though they had to peel it back, it gave room for Mr. Punch to make his big play downstairs.
Elevate has certainly gotten a lot more energy than they started this series with now. And it's players like Mr. Punch that we do need to step up. Now, Elevate aren't typically a team that wants one player to pop off, to be the hero. This is a roster that wants everyone to share the glory. And that's the reason why they picked up players like Mark and Mr. Punch. They didn't want to rely on Onigiri getting 27 kills every game. Now the way that this team works is ready for the world stage.
And now for all of you that don't know at home, Elevate, from what we spoke to them about, they do not have a set IGL. All 5 players on this roster contribute to ideas in the push. They contribute to the defense that they're going to hold, and they bounce ideas off each other. Comparatively, W7M, their IGL is Herds, but as a result of the way that Elevate have shaped up this team, because they all share the responsibility and the accountability, we never see one player just pop off. It's always all of them enabling each other and helping each other out.
It's all about being a team of 5 players, not a leader, and those supporting. W7M have made some good progress here. attacking onto the customs and supply bomb site with control above. Volps can start getting to work.
Passport as well, opened up for JV. Oh, the impact trick doesn't connect. In fact, plays too low on the reinforcement, and now they have a way in on the site. The Elevate players surrounding the bomb site adjacent, but Volps, he can take down Sapper. w7m now up in the man advantage.
The vertical game is so potent on this site. Does he see the player? Mr. Punch's head taken straight off. Herds also finds his own, doesn't lose that fight, though he is taken very low. Two of the w7m players as such, but it doesn't matter. It's only Mark left in the 1v5.
Osa Shield going down as well, and the plan to go behind GDN. Looking for this top control is Mark. Can he connect the shots? He hears the barbed wire, and he does. Volps take down on the vertical, but he still has 4 more players to find. JV to clean up the final kill, and w7m up another round.
A strong attack from w7m. It started strong, directly hitting the site. Full control upstairs in CCTV and break room, and the vertical game that was opened up was untouchable. What can Elevate do?
Well, w7m, they made that defense very claustrophobic very quickly for Elevate. Elevate, they all started out on the site. We didn't have any roamers start out at points of entries, and they were immediately punished for it. Volps, he made his way in through break straight away. This is the vertical that we saw in the replays now. Because he got this entry done so quickly, no one holding on to 90, no one holding on to E-stairs, he was able to trap the Elevate players off of the site, making vertical and cutting them off. As a result, the rest of w7m players, they could come in, open up the wall, get that bomb down, and Elevate punished for not holding on to that early map control.
But they won't dwell on the issues of the past. They'll go and reattempt Bathroom and Tellers, where this game opened up. w7m used the Lion to such significant effect to rush in to find a lot of early map control, as w7m are wont to do. My question is, what's going to change here for Elevate?
Elevate, this looks a lot more spread out from them. This looks a lot more confident in their roam game. They're all starting out in different points of the map. We have plenty of players watching that Armory breach. We have a player on E-stairs. We have players inside of Bathroom Tellers anticipating the early push just in case. And so for w7m, they're not going to be caught out guard this time. They'll have to find a new point of entry. It's going to be better contested in the early round.
Good mute jammer here in break room. Gonna keep Onigiri hidden for a little bit longer.
And a really gorgeous pivot as well from Elevate. They've realized that w7m are looking for that CCTV and armory control, and Marky makes his way over. He connects the shots, but not being taken down by GDN. Oni, though, still holding on to this position in break room, not droned out, protected by that mute jammer.
He has a good long angle. He can use this 50 cal Uzi. But he falls back. And w7m, at least they traded that opening death, but they perhaps don't have as much ground as they would like.
Mr. Punch still holding on to this top floor. C4 and SMG-11 in hand as the rest of the w7m players begin this roam clear. Stagnating now. We're at a bit of an impasse. A player is about to round the corner on Onigiri.
Oh, he falls back. Doesn't want to take the fight. KZ as well, getting very close to Mr. Punch, who's falling further and further back into the office. Feeling that pressure, goes for a wall bang. It's Onigiri who gets traded back. Everything that Elevate does, w7m have a response.
But now Elevate showing so much restraint, going back into the bomb site. Vertical is in play, this time for Volps, but he's really not got much left in his hands. Only 2 more hard breach charges, and GDN now starting to get this wall open. Elevate, they've got the time advantage right now. They just need to sit and wait, hold adjacent to the site, and wait. w7m, what's their next move?
Well, a breach onto the site from underneath East Stairs is a strong one. Spotting out all of the Grismots as well for w7m. Oh, nice shot. Quick flick of the wrist for JV. w7m eager to capitalize. A flashbang may well mask the sound of the drop. Sapper has to have an impact, but he's full white. He's full blind. 2v3 for Elevate means that Sapper, he's got to make this position count. Round the corner. He can find one. Doesn't see the second player. Here's it ring out, and Onigiri, meanwhile, the trap. Finds the planter. It's all on Volps. He's made it a 1v1. DCH to clutch it. Time is on his side, but Volps, oh, he fakes it! He's got to land the shot, DCH, you just have to survive!
DCH with the final kill of the round off the back of time. And Elevate push themselves in this game. What a beautiful hold that was from them. And look at the smiles on their faces, Sapper. I saw that little smirk that came out when he heard the Let's Go Elevate from the crowd. Such a gorgeous hold as well. Restraint through that mid-round. They knew that w7m were taking their time. They knew that they were stagnated from that roam that Onigiri and Mr. Punch were able to do so successfully. And now as they try to enter into the site, Sapper, he finds the timing, the mechanical prowess of this player. He can do everything, can't he, Sapper?
Yeah, it seems so. He's Monty main, Mirror main, Smoke main, entry, clutch, whatever you need. He says, I can do it. Elevate, though, it's not a done deal. 2 rounds on defense may not be enough. They need to push for as many as possible, and it has been back and forth in this game. w7m opened, then Elevate, then back, and then forth. And a retry here now of customs and detention. Now, this was such a pitiful sight for Elevate last time. w7m were perfect.
But look how different Elevate are playing this now. They've realized, okay, we gave way too much to Volps on that top floor. We need to hold on to this control. Now playing a mirror inside of Cubby, but it's taken out by the Twitch drone. Mark, though, he's still aided by the keeper barriers for this point of entry. In w7m, they're not giving away as much free real estate this time. They have to fight for it.
We've seen late round traps be impactful for Elevate, thanks to the Thorn last round. Could the Frost have a similar impact? Keep that in the back of your mind. w7m have made good progress, though, especially taking down that mirror, as you mentioned, in CCTV. Opens up more options for w7m. Drone work as well. Spots out Mark's position on the Azami. Vulnerable to a wall bang. He is getting pinched.
Oh, Mark taking a lick of damage now. Has to fall back into the rotate. The Lion Scan rings out. Is the entry there to follow the Gon6 in the background.
Oh.
JV, he's made his way in, and Volps, he'll take down Mr. Punch.
Trying to support is Mr. Punch, but Mark actually manages to escape down below. Still not great for Elevate. Oh! DMR, you say? I've got a DMR right here.
w7m now with top floor control, but with much less time than the previous attempt. Onigiri getting aggressive on these vertical angles. He's not giving up any more space. He said, w7m, you've had enough. You've had the top floor, but you can't get the sights. A minute and ticking down left now for w7m.
Oh, Gemini taken out. DCH spotted, but he's got lines of sight to play around. Herds actually falls back. Starting to push on the side. Opens up one of these hatches. w7m have some options now. What do they go for? GDN's got a breach on the detention wall. Volps at top metal stairs, but Elevate separated.
They have options, but no vertical. The Elevate players, they can sit on the site much more happily now with the keeper barriers to aid them as well. 45 seconds left, but Elevate, they look so comfortable.
Oh, but the nade for Herds, it covers the sound of the drop, but it doesn't matter. Sapper, what can't he do? Volps there, he gets the double. He might not know it, but Onigiri is now down on the ground. A hatch drop for 2 players at w7m, but Sapper, he seems fully aware. A flashbang to go through, but Sapper spots out the Nomad. Can he land the duel? Dancing around the metal detectors. DCH for the backstab with the pistol. The team kill. Oh no, JV. He's made this so difficult for himself. And he must plant. He might not know it, but it's only him and DCH. DCH has time on his side. It's a 1v1! JV, he's got the clutch.
And what a dicey round that was from w7m. They took their time with the entry. It almost looked like Elevate had the grip on that round, but the 2K from the top of metal stairs, oh, it all fell apart for Elevate in their defense.
Impressive that w7m could bring it back from that position, but scary that it got so close. had an early advantage and weren't able to convert until the final moments. Relief and excitement on their faces at that winning moment.
But you just know that Elevate, they're going to come back from this. Elevate, they always tell us, whenever we talk to them, they say, we just need to hold on to our man advantage. The thing that they kick themselves the most about is that when they have the man advantage, sometimes they do some silly things. And I know that Elevate, that's exactly what's going on in their comms right now. They're thinking, all right, guys, we had that round. It could be 3-2. Let's not give them anything. We're back in this.
Well, one more round would tie it up. In every region except for APAC South, this map is attacker-sided. Elevate need to prove why they can defend it better than anyone else and even this scoreline before they switch onto their own attacks.
The final defense going out on the Armory room now. KZ, once again, wow, the use of this Twitch drone. He's been able to get so much value out of it every single time. A camera, a mute jammer, what else can he get? Nope, he's going to get off now. He's pretty happy with his luck so far. w7m shaping up around the other side of the map, however, looking for a triple take.
Droning out a lot of this map. You can see the way that w7m wants to clear this office position is by opening up the hatch from below. But guess what? It's actually reinforced now. You can't throw nades up through that hatch when it's reinforced.
What a great adaptation as well from Elevate, reading into the fact that w7m like this triple take. Although they've left the wall open, there's still the reinforcement here to play with. There's still the ADS as well, and the hatch is closed. Sapper, he can hold this Hell in the Cell spot for as long as he feels like.
Great operator forward as well on the Ella. A menacing close range. A blind nade through the floor for Herds. Doesn't find anything, but it does expose one of the key positions on site. Still, Sapper, standing on top of the brickwork, is safe from below.
And w7m, not nearly as confident this time on this entry. Before we saw the pressure in come from below, but DCH, he has the read, he has the vertical. Sapper to find the second onto Volps. It's all falling apart for w7m.
It's far too late. A nice attempt at adapting for w7m to use the Selmas to open the hatch, but it's just too slow. And now they must make a desperate attempt to push in and frag out. JV on the ingress, but there's Mr. Punch. SMT 11 cleans it up. A 5v2 now for Elevate. This adaptation has stalled out the Brazilians.
KZ trying to mount some kind of pressure. They're reshaping up for a Armory side push instead, but Onigiri, he's there to challenge them. Gun in hand, and KZ to be taken down. GDN now left in the 1-on-5.
How many flawless rounds have Elevate managed this series? Could be yet another, and w7m again are just going to bait out the rest of the round. Use that tactical timeout, the free one that you get when you just wait.
And how gorgeous was that defense from Elevate as well? You said it. They need to even it up, 3-3. And how perfect was the adaptation? Closing up that hatch, putting Sapper in a Hell in the Cell spot, the perfect play to do it. DCH knew he might get naded from below, and so he played the vertical for it. Mr. Punch, he was there for the crossfire, and Elevate, the perfect read on that triple wall take, works out for them, and now 3-3 half-time is ticking away. 3, 2, 1. Elevate. Another round on the board.
Elevate ready for the attacking side now. w7m have to show what they've got on their defense. Neither team has played this so far at the major. It's a blank slate border. They've a little bit hiding it, practicing it behind the scenes. Couple of nasty shots here, I got to admit.
Really?
Have a look at this one.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice little correction.
Elevate now, they're going to move onto their attack instead. And historically, we like to say that border is attacker-sided. Now, w7m, they weren't able to amount any more than 3, and Elevate will have to do better if they want to take this series. Remember, this is a map point for both teams. We are all tied up here in the scoreboard, and Armory will be the bomb side of choice for w7m.
The last time w7m played border, they beat both INTZ and Team 1 in the BR6. Now back then, their attacks, they were so potent. They won 75% of them. Defenses weren't far behind either. They still won the majority of them. But But that was against a very different caliber of team. And w7m trying to research what Elevate do on this map. Well, there's a couple of odds here and there, but not nearly as many as they would like.
w7m, what an aggressive hold they're looking for, though. We've got the Oryx down below, making use of the hatches, while the rest of the anchor players spread out their way through the top floor, waiting for that east stairs push, waiting for the triple entry. DCH, he's trying to enable himself with this Nook to sneak his way in. Oni, of course, on the top of east stairs, but taken down by KZ.
It's a big early pick and a big player to take out. What a DCH and the rest of the Elevate boys going to be able to do without their captain.
w7m still holding their ground on this top floor, and actually Elevate, they've changed their mind. They're going to try something new, going down from below instead. A nade to be cooked. Will it connect? They have the info, but it doesn't.
Not quite. Info a little bit late. The player had rotated out by that point. Pulled back from break room.
Elevate, though, they're completely changing this push now. East stairs control, no. We're just going to leave Sapper here on the cutoff. That's fine. Mr. Punch now will make his way up to CCTV instead, try and get their work on the wall done. Mark now droning out the CCTV position, actually finding out that it is relatively clear for them, except for the Arena, of course, just rotating in now. KZ, he's been droned out. Does he spot this one? He doesn't.
He knows he was droned. He doesn't know he's still... They got a live feed on him, so much info. Elevate have to land the shots. DCH, lovely little spray onto the barricade and locking the kill on the Volps. Still, the Aruni at large.
And look at that, Mr. Punch from below as well. They have the info on him, and Mr. Punch has a grenade in hand. This could be disastrous for KZ. And he's taken down anyway by DCH. It's all coming together for Elevate.
Lose their opening player, it doesn't matter. Now moving into CCTV, a minute remaining.
Activating head.
DCH sneaking his way through CCTV now. The wall being open, aggressive player on the doorway, but the shots connect. The headshot, it's perfect from DCH. Hers to trade one back into Sapper, but the man advantage still in favor of Elevate. Mr. Punch!
It's all on Herds now, and that's not happening. Elevate. A lovely start to their attacking half. They can lose the opening pick. They can lose the SI kill world record holder. It doesn't matter. These guys have got it, and they can feel your energy.
And can you just feel the composure oozing through this Elevate squad? It's not one IGL, it's four of them. All of them said, let's rotate over. This East stairs control, too hot. CCTV given to us for free. Oh look, I have a drone inside of CCTV. Mr. Punch, go down below and nade KZ out of there. And they're all just on the same page as a network, this neural network of players, blood flowing through all of their veins, just the energy, the everything that they have in the server.
People are starting to see that w7m, they can bleed. They've been unreal throughout BR6 this year. Came out of nowhere. But at the major, the stakes are so much higher. The pressure is so much higher. You're not playing BO1s anymore. And w7m historically have struggled a bit more in those BO3s within the Cobra Elite when they're versing teams of the same pedigree. And here they are. They might have won the first map.
But w7m.
This is not over yet.
And that's exactly right, w7m holding on to this top floor. The bomb site is bathroom and tellers, of course, but look how fortified the position inside of offices. I think that was 5 or 6 reinforcements dedicated to it, keeper barriers, ADSs, and a shield as well. Ooh. If Elevate want vertical control, they have a lot to play for, but they're not even going to go for it. Onigiri, he finds the first pick here on the balcony. And Mr. Punch is straight in the building. He does not give a damn.
Just look at the entries. Doesn't take any time whatsoever. You blink and you miss it. w7m now feeling that pressure. A bit worried. Hey, wait a second. These guys are in very early. Wonder what that C4 can do. There's no info. There's nothing for it. Herd's getting a little bit aggressive. Elevate have dialed it down.
Elevate are now faced with the second problem here, and that's to clear out the top floor. But of course, Mr. Punch, he's the second one playing that cutoff on the ground floor, is able to find one of the anchors. He can find another. Herd's taken down, getting aggressive on the hatch, and Elevate now at the man advantage. Can he find a third? Volps, he can find the trade, but not before Onigiri is on his tail, and GDN in the side as well.
And he's the last one left. W7M may well be falling right here. Elevate have been so phenomenal here on border. Flawless attacks so far. Picture perfect.
And once again, oozing confidence. These entries, Onigiri on the front line, missed a punch. The setup inside of Office, terrifying. He doesn't care. He makes his way through 90. He fights the players 1-to-1. And W7M falling at the seams, bleeding every other round.
The Kings of Thailand, record breakers. The Beast.
A tactical timeout are W7M. They have to match the pressure that Elevate are pushing on them.
Oh no, JV, what happened? Half HP impacted himself? I sure hope that doesn't come back to bite him later.
Starting out now on this ventilation bomb site off the back of that tactical timeout, mirror windows being dedicated to the roam game in the top floor. W7M, they want to hold on to as much map control as possible because Elevate, once they find their pick, they take it and they run. It's about winning out these entries for W7M, trying their best to stagnate Elevate in their path.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Trying to find their feet still on these defenses of W7M. But if something ain't working, you've got to change it, and that's exactly the story that they are following right now. DCH has managed to get his Twitch drone all the way deep. He's going to be able to get inside, take out one of the main cameras, but that reveals the Twitch drone's position. His priority, number one, is these mirror windows from Herds. But for now, I mean, he's just denying so much information.
DCH, of course. Another charge on this Twitch drone, taking down all the info they have on the top floor. Sapper as well, he's managed to find his way inside of Customs, putting pressure horizontally, making the anchors turn their attention towards him, while the rest of Elevate clear through that top floor, pushing the roamers away and into the line of sight of Sapper.
And Elevate have so much info right now. A quick flick of the drones and you see it. They're poising themselves around this top floor, around this bomb site as well. And the lion will roar to lock those defenders in place.
Sapper, so much info on these players on the top, trying to bait out the defenders to come to him. His cutoff. JV gets aggressive on the window inside of ventilation, taken low by the Zofia impact.
Scary position for JV. And he's about to feel all kinds of pressure.
Elevate, they've actually changed their mind. They've reconvened all of their players onto the east side control, leaving Sapper behind, playing this flex position, waiting for any roamers, trying to catch out the anchors. They even have info on the side. Yellow pings going out onto JV. Does he see the backpack of the Maestro? Yes, he does. Sapper to connect the shots onto the side player. Smoke Babe to ring out, but Elevate.
GDN's impact has got to be felt on the smoke. Keeps the push at bay for a bit longer. But Elevate have done such a good job of shutting W7M down. DCH on for the entry up above, but there's Herds. W7M erupt. 2 picks of their own. They have the numbers back on their side, but here comes Mr. Punch. He gets a face full of buckshot. The trade is on from Onigiri. But the Brazilians have the lifeline here.
They might have the lifeline, but do they have the sight? It's completely empty right now, and Mark has the diffuser in his hand. GDN, he has no more smoke babes as well, but Herds to take down Onigiri now. It's up to Mark to clutch this one up 1 versus 3.
There's so much vertical capability here. The 3 players on W7M. And look at the height there.
KZ turning it up in the server, the player that you can see on your pictures now. Happy with that 3K up his belt. And Elevate, that was an interesting attack from them. They left Sapper behind, turning away the attention of the anchors. And as soon as he's able to take one down, we saw all the W7M players, they scrambled to try and regain that vertical control. They all went into Armory. And although the Elevate players tried to backstep them for that entry, the game sense from these players to turn around and realize, hang on a second, we've just given up the map control. They're still going for this roam clear, turning around and taking down 3 Elevate players looking to backstep them. Perfect from W7M.
Yeah, they keep their cool when things get hot. W7M still fighting from behind. But the reaction on that win, just look at that from Hertz.
w7m now taking us up to yet another bomb site now on the top floor, holding on to this east stairs control.
10 seconds left before
A rotate actually aggressive being played on the triple wall as well as Pyjamas to aid the push going into break room. Reading into the fact that Elevate, perhaps they look for a CC take here. Last time, Elevate made that very successfully work out from them. They pivoted over towards that CC side. They found nades from below. The entries worked out in their favor. But w7m are a bit more prepared this time.
And there's a late round X factor for w7m as well with the Yokai drones from the Echo. GDN has a lot of ability for early round aggressive info and playmaking, which we know w7m are fond of, yet haven't shown very much of here. And of course, as well, if Elevate take too long, those Yokais can be clutch in a pinch.
Sapa holding this long line of sight onto East. There's just a pixel, a tiny pixel onto Hertz. Also holding on to the same, a bit of an impasse here between these two teams. Mr. Punch once again making his push from below, 2 grenades in hand, but is there info on the site? Where are these w7m anchors? Some yellow pings go out, but it's too late. There's no one there anymore.
Clearing some util perhaps. This is a risky nade to play. Ooh.
Oh.
Punishing a potential aggressive player, but no one there and no utility to clear. Mr. Punch still below with one more nade in pocket. As Elevate start to shape up, and here come the hard breach.
w7m being much more restrained here now. They've realized they need to give the respect to Elevate they deserve. They want to go back into the philosophy of waiting for Elevate to take their time and play it slow. That is what Elevate are doing right now, but will they go punished for it? KZ now taking the fight inside of break room.
A real weakness for Elevate here has been the lack of impact from those nades below. Neither has found anything of meaning. And w7m still control the breach. They still control break room, CCTV. Elevate have very little ground to show for the minute and a half they've spent trying to push this map.
Oh, but look at this. A pinch going through the top floor. Onigiri, he's just made his way into CCTV while his friends over on East Stairs. He finds the first onto the break room player, but not without trade. Herds coming in through break room, anticipating a second player, but it doesn't matter. Sapa, he's good for the refrag.
J9, JV has got something to say. GDN and him are the last remaining players left. Elevate have numbers advantage, and they're up on the scoreboard as well. This is the final map. Could it be the penultimate round?
But look at this from JV going below with the C4 in hand, anticipating that Elevate might take too much time. If an Elevate player is C4'd, getting the plant down, it could be disastrous. There's still info on those Yokai drones. They have to go now if they want a chance at getting this execute down.
I think you threw it into the default spot. The Yokai spotted, but this C4 could be pulled at the right moment. And there it is, detonated, and w7m tie the scoreline. What a play.
It's not over yet, Dev. Elevate, what an excellent entry they made into that top floor. They realized that the breach wasn't working, but because they'd drawn so much of the attention of those w7m plays across, it allowed the 2 entries to come through East Stairs, to come through Mezzanine, make the pinch work with Onigiri. But in the man advantage, one thing they hadn't accounted for was JV on that C4, on that default plant spot.
Very well played from them in a pinch. And for JV to rotate back to site to help out as well. Exactly what they needed. And every round, the hype just increases for this team. Hertz getting up out of his chair. He's unleashed.
Round 11 now. One team will go on match point at the end of this round. 1 point away from victory, from going into the semi-final, and now they'll take us down to customs and supply. w7m. We've had the world tour on this map, Dev. We've gone to all 4 bomb sites. Not all of them have been successful, but alas, we've seen quite some diversity here. KZ using one of his mirror windows to face the breach aggressively, while the rest of his teammates shape up around that CCTV side, waiting for the Elevate entry to come through.
A good setup from w7m with a lot of good reconstruction utility. We've got the castles. Also got lots of info in the late round in lieu of the Maestro camps.
Onigiri immediately putting some pressure onto the site, opening up the window, but not without being contested from the vertical. JV above, anticipating the early push this time. Although Elevate, they're starting to make their way on the ground floor. They want to pressure out these anchors, make them squirmish, make them freak out a little bit, cause these roamers to pay attention to what's going on while the rest of the team look for that roam clear, and it's absolutely working right now. JDN now has his eyes trained on the breach. Same thing, the vertical being at play, and JDN taken low. Elevate, they're surrounding the site like vultures.
But JV aren't dead yet. JV isn't dead yet. W7M is still holding their positions. Elevate sending in their utility, looking to clear out all of the setup that W7M's got on site. Here comes the Rotero. It's going to be able to clear out the floor, Evil Eye from Maestro. But in comes Volps. He's been such an impactful player for W7M across their campaign.
W7M realizing that Elevate could hit the site at any point now and rotating one of their roamers back to help out GDN, who's been taken down very, very low. That being said, though, Elevate now have much more map control than they had before. The defenders now split up between the roam and between the site, but what can they make use of it? Can they convert this into an entry?
DCH on for this top floor clear. Time is ticking away. Elevate can't sit outside forever. DCH is going to move forward. Herd's upstairs. He's on that mirror window. DCH doesn't have live info. Onigiri jumps in and jumps straight back out. DCH has the perfect position, but his position's about to be revealed. Caught between two players. There's Herd's. Numbers advantage has slipped through Elevate's fingers.
Grenades follow through for Mr. Punch, but nothing to come of it. It doesn't connect to Onigiri. Here's info. He has an idea that there will be a player in the site ready to contest him. He vaults in, looking to take the fight. Still low, the player sits tight.
Oh, how do you win that, Volps? This is why Volps can land things that no one else can. He's a miracle worker. KZ as well to take out Mark. It's a done deal. A long series so far. Can Elevate make it even longer by pushing overtime? W7M, they know for such a long time they've been working towards making it to a major, making it to the playoffs. Making it to the top 4 is something that they have never achieved before, and something that every player aspires to do.
Just about 9 months ago, they found themselves almost in relegation, W7M. They were going to fall apart, but then they picked up the 2 new gunners, Volps, JV, and now look where they are. 1 round away from making it to the semi-final.
And for Elevate, surely not heartbreak again. Surely not an early exit from the playoffs. They need to fight back, and there's no second chances.
W7M, they're looking to repeat this hold into bathroom, and Tellers fortifying the position inside of office, shields, wall dial, everything in their hands. But Elevate, they look like they're going for something a little bit different. Ying in the hands of DCH, Sapper as well with the Flores, now getting their way straight into the ground floor, droning it out, seeing if there are any W7M players that might meet them. But it doesn't seem like it, as Onigiri can make his way straight into Workshop.
And Onigiri is a dangerous player here in his position. A barricade might slow him down. There's the punch moving in from Passport. JV on the other side of the wall. He's been drawn out so many times. He is the pinch player. Elevate have been hunting him, but they haven't been able to confirm the kill yet.
Once again, Elevate looking for the same formula that they had before. Put pressure onto the site, rattle the roamers on W7M, and try and capitalize on their mistakes. But as of now, W7M not making any mistakes, not willing to go out their positions just yet. In fact, adapting to this side push right now, putting a rotate for them to come back from this east stairs position. Who will reign supreme on this side of the map?
Still a 5v5 and half the round's done. Elevate struggling to eliminate JV. For so long, they've known he's here at the bottom of the east stairs. And finally, Elevate draws first blood. JV's still in that pickle position. How much damage is he going to be able to do? How much longer can he survive? He's finally taken out, but not before W7M can deal some damage of their own.
And look at this from Volps as well. He's still holding on to this top floor control. He's still holding on to this position inside of construction where Elevate are all coming from. The vertical, it's starting to pressure out Elevate. What can they do?
And this is where Mark and Onigiri need to have an impact. But the players above, Volps, they're cutting off so many of the open for Elevate. Here comes the Gon6 to put some pressure on. Volps still stays on that mezzanine.
Mark, though, he's trying to get his way into the site. Bomb in his hand.
And he must land this opening shot. Mr. Punch steps up. Volps goes down. That was the player stopping Elevate from entering the site. And so they flood. GDN under so much pressure. He cannot make a play, but he must. Elevate have the post plan. Herds can retake the top floor for 1 kill. He gets a second. A 2v2. W7M wait with bated breath. They could lock in a semi-final right here, but they will have to land the impossible on Onigiri! The man himself to push us into overtime.
And overtime is exactly what this series deserves. Elevate. They don't stagnate through that mid-round. W7M, they might not have given them anything in that early round, but as soon as it came to the mid-round, as soon as they were able to take down the player, stopping Mark from getting into the site, they jumped right on it. Elevate matching the pacing of W7M, pressing the attack, and as soon as they were able to, bang, it's go time.
This map is pure claustrophobia. When you have a player like Volps in a position on the mezzanine with so much impact, Elevate knows that is the linchpin.
Of course.
But it's also so difficult to get in there. You have to have your timings down to perfection. And that is something both of these teams have been nailing. Their entries, but also their timings to work together as a team. And we're going to have to see another defense round from W7M. It has been split down the middle. And now into overtime, we're going to find out in the next 3 rounds how this goes down.
And this is some incredible siege that we're seeing as well. Every strategy is dynamic. The defense, the attack, but it's not just the strategies, it's the pacing, it's the timings. It's the reason why these players play scrims for hours and hours and hours, and they drive on all their strats, and they wait for those perfect timings to capitalize and maximize their strategy. And we're seeing that perfectly in this game, both teams matching pace. Now Elevate are mounting another attack, looking for this entry onto Armory.
But where must they push, they wonder? A little bit of everywhere. A little bit of below, a little bit of an office take. As Onigiri makes his way up onto the AC balcony. Spraying with that LMG. Down the barricade. Straight into the site. W7M, though, they're not looking to get aggressive here. They're playing their positions as Elevate start to chew through this util.
And it's the same formula once again. Immediately put pressure on the site. Make an anchor worry about you. It's been working out very well for Elevate. Always an anchor trained on the line of sight instead, but Herds. Look at this hold that he's got on the east stairs, aided by the keeper barriers. He's isolating these one-on-ones with this keeper barrier. He only needs to fight one of the doorways on east stairs, but Elevate know it. They're not falling to the push, and Sapo, oh, that was a bit close.
And this is the thorn in Elevate's side. That east stairs position held so strong by Herds with the Azami. Elevate need to clear it out. What is their plan? Where is their util? Where is their burn? Sap has made his rotation. He's going all the way over outside the balcony to CCTV and Armory, where JV is waiting to meet him, inching closer to the angle. The 1.5 delivers the goods for JV, but there's immediately a reply, and east stairs has been cleared.
Once again, amazing push from Elevate. They gave away East's control, but instead, Herds makes a mistake off that. Herds thinks, oh, they're just about to hit the site. I'm going to move now, and Oni is there for the cutoff. Same with DCH now, outside of break room, punishing KZ on the mezzanine. W7M falling apart now, making mistakes. The cracks, they're starting to slip through.
Young gunner, FPL god Volps will have to step up, as he has done for W7M time and time again, but he's been shut down! The star player is gone. It's all fallen to pieces for W7M. Elevate so close they can taste it.
Oh no. KZ to take out one with the Razor Bloom and JV as well. Only 20 seconds left. Elevate, where are you on the side? Missed a punch to make the entry.
A 2v1, GDN has got to clutch up. He gets the first one. It's all on DCH. Is there a Yokai drone to deny this plant? As GDN moves forward, he goes for the spray! Another match point in the 2v4 clutch.
W7M not willing to go out without a fight. They will not go down quietly against this Elevate roster. Elevate, once again, just such a dynamic attack onto these W7M players. It's so hard to match pace with these entries. They put all the pressure on one side of the map. They make W7M worry, but as that's happening, they have players rotate off, changing, dividing the attention of W7M, forcing them to make mistakes, having to choose one position over the other. They're trapped in the flow of Elevate. But GDN with this clutch, they're still in it.
Yeah, and not only are W7M still in it, but they are so close. And Herd's energy has not died down for a second. It's only built with every consecutive round. Now W7M once again have the series point within their grasp.
Elevate now taking us once again to this top floor bomb site. Looking to hold onto the break room, aided by the Pyjamas, the Kiva barriers, everything that they need in their arsenal. As well as leaning into the mirror once again from Sapper. It's been quite successful, aside from when it gets taken down by Herd's switch drone, but holding on to this 90 position as well as the breach, I can only imagine, a bit later on.
How does W7M intend to clear this office position that they struggled with since Elevate reinforced that hatch? The Hibana is there this time. And there's no mute jammer on that hatch from what I can see, so... Hang on a second. W7M are rotating over.
Uh-oh. This could be not so good for Elevate. They've put all their utility on the triple wall side.
Right.
Hurts, he could walk into the side now. There's no one holding on to it. DCH has to make his way back.
Could this be a rush? The setup, the Glaz. Onigiri goes low, playing the position of half wall. The last line of defense to hold on to the front of Armory. A daring play from W7M as the second E1D rings out. The Lion locks the defenders in place. The Elevate start to fall back. They're reading this.
They realized what W7M are going for, and they were going to hit the site, but W7M dialing it back, changing the pace. Going over to E stairs and break room instead, but look how claustrophobic this defense is now from Elevate. They've all been baited to come back onto the site. There's no more map control in their hands. And Herds, he might find a pick here.
Oh, KZ loses a bit of health there. Herd's on this angle. He's so close. Oh my God! It was a trade. How did DCH even see anything? W7M made good progress. They've got good ground. What can they do with it?
Onigiri, though, he's no longer trained his eyes on the breach. It's open to W7M, and if W7M capitalize on that position, it could all be over for Elevate, but they're still taking their time, taking it slow.
Well, there's a lot of time left to work with. A full minute for W7M. But that pressure is mounting. Risk-taking. I mean, how can you afford to take a risk when you're on that match point? They're waiting. They're talking it through. They can't get a breach. KT goes for the face check. Clears the mute jammer. And a defender pushes a bit too aggressive. Onigiri goes down.
And W7M, it looks like something explosive is about to happen. Volks, you can find yet another pick onto Mr. Punch. Now in the man advantage of W7M.
They might just have it. It's a 4v2 for W7M. Elevate starts to step up, but Volps, he survives. It's all on to Sapper. It's a 1v2 with that diffuser planted. W7M have fought valiantly, and they're about to find the win. Sapper can't do anything about it. These rising stars from Brazil, they're charging their way towards victory, the climb. It's got to be the kill here. Got to be the final lock-in for KZ. Sapper goes for a run, but surely that's the end of it. He's got no time, and W7M just playing with their food. A good attempt, but now he's got to stick it. There's no second chances. GDN, all he has to do is pull the trigger. A new era of siege is upon us, and their flag flies blue, green, and yellow. W7M, Summit Mount Elevate.
And it's all over for Elevate.